It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
And welcome to the realm of geekdom. This is nerd breaking news. The Oklahoma City Thunder won it in 2025. Can they win it in 2026, or are you picking the field? We're going to go ahead and discuss that, but before we do that, make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss any of our episodes. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Our resident NBA expert, Eagle, what do you think?
Well, this is a tough situation because OKC has a really talented team. They showed it last year, young team, led by SGA, led by Shed Holmgren, Williams. They have a really good team, and they kept the core. And to think about that, OKC as a team has more picks than any other team in the NBA, and in really good positions. You would only think that this is a dynasty. This is a dynasty that is forming. They already have one championship, right? They were number one in the West Conference this year, and you would only think, you can throw me Jokic, you can throw me Wemby. It doesn't matter. They have the talent. They have the players. They will be able to do it. Now, this is the year that they have to prove that. Can't call the dynasty until that actually happens. And one ring so far doesn't turn you into a dynasty. Now, here's the thing. There's a few teams that might actually get them thrown out. And it's just two teams because right now they're the champs. And until you beat them, they're still the reigning champs and they're the favorites. There's two teams in my eyes. There's the San Antonio Spurs with Wemby, and there's the Denver Nuggets with Jokic and a guy who found a new life, Jamal Murray. Now here's the thing: the only way that the Oklahoma City Thunder faces Denver is if they go all the way to the Western Conference Final. Because in the second round, if they beat the Phoenix Suns, they would be facing the winner of Houston and the Lakers. Now we know the Lakers are up 2-0. It's not the script that we thought, right? But that's the situation right now. Even if the Lakers end up beating Houston, it's more about how bad Houston is than the Lakers being good. And that would be the second round matchup between Oklahoma and the Lakers. I still think that Oklahoma takes it. It doesn't matter if Austin Reeves comes back. Now, if Luka comes back, that's a different situation. And now we're talking about a possible game 6, game 7 situation for that series. I would still give the edge to Oklahoma just because they have the experience of last year, and the fact that they just have really good, talented players. Like they have Harstein playing the center, or maybe playing the power forward next to Shed Holmgren. So this is a really good team. Now, I'll say this. As much as I like the team, I don't like the fact that, SGA is getting the calls that he's getting. I think it's unfair to the rest of the NBA. You can clearly see it. Like the refs are benefiting him in a way that no other player in the NBA is benefiting. He's selling out a lot. He's flopping out a lot. Other players flop. We know that LeBron flops. We know that, Luka might flop and every now and then. Nobody does it like SGA because he actually gets the calls. That pisses me off. Listen, at the end of the day, until it happens, it has to be Oklahoma City for me. And it's a hard conversation because I've had the conversation with the kid and the professor, and it would put SGA in an elite level in terms of maybe being, I don't know, top 15 already in the history of the game with 2 rings and possible 2 finals MVPs. It hurts me because there's a lot of players who are probably better than him in terms of their skill, and didn't accomplish 2 rings. Mind you, they still haven't won. I get it, but if they do, it's a tough conversation. At the end of the day, my pick is still Oklahoma City to win it all.
All right, so we got one for Oklahoma City. Professor.
I agree with a lot of what the Eagle said. There's one other team that I think could give OKC trouble, and that's the Detroit Pistons. But aside from the two that he mentioned and the Pistons, I don't see another team that would have it. Maybe the Celtics, maybe, but I'm not sure if they have the size to be able to stop the two bigs that OKC has, and that might be how they win that series too. But overall, the only thing that I think can stop them on their path to getting there would literally be injuries. But I wouldn't be surprised if they pull it off this season. I don't want them to pull it off. I'm actively rooting against them. Sorry. I'm literally hoping almost anyone else wins but them because I don't like the way that they play. It is what it is. If you're asking me to pick a team that I think will pull it off this year, I think the Spurs will do it. And if not the Spurs, probably the Pistons. And that's my take.
Kid, your turn.
OKC.
We got two for OKC so far.
OKC just won, so they're now up 2-0 against the Suns. We didn't. It's funny that both of you guys didn't mention any Eastern Conference teams, so that's funny, right? Because the presumption is the Western Conference is so loaded and so much better. Especially with Boston losing yesterday to the damn Sixers. Like, they had no business losing to the Sixers. Magic got destroyed today by the Pistons. The Knicks lost to the Hawks. So the Eastern Conference feels like it's whoever comes out is going to be like, yeah, we made the finals. Fill in the blank for the Western Conference team is going to put one of the nastiest belt to ass in history. Like, I don't think any Eastern Conference team is going to do good against the Western Conference team. With regards to the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Field, that's what it seems like. It seems like it's Oklahoma City's championship to lose. It feels like somebody has to come there and take it. And let's look at the West right now, currently as per today.
Mm-hmm.
The Nuggets, man, they messed up, man. They should have lost that game. They should have taken the fourth seed and played the Rockets. The coach and everybody, they thought that we'll get the third seed. We're good. We're Gucci. You're going against, for the third year in a row, Ant-Man and the Minnesota Timberwolves. They pose a problem to the matchup wise to the Nuggets. So the Nuggets, cool. You were thinking about avoiding Oklahoma City and getting the Spurs in round 2. How about you think about round 1? Get out of round 1 first. Like, secure round 1. And I think that's where Denver messed up. So the Denver is tied right now with the T-Wolves. It's going to Minnesota tomorrow. I love Denver and I love Nikola Jokic. I think that they messed up. And the last thing you want, because I'm not an Ant-Man fan, the last thing you want is to get that man going and then Minnesota going. By the way, he's never going to win a ring. He's not Michael Jordan. Anyways, put a disclaimer in the bottom. They pose a problem, man, and I just think Denver messed up in that sense. The Lakers, I think the Rockets are pure trash. We're all saying the Rockets pure trash. They can't do anything right with or without Kevin Durant, so the Lakers are taking advantage of it. We'll see Game 3 where it goes. I think Game 3 is obviously. I'm not being crazy here by saying that Game 3 is the series, man. Lakers go up 3-0. That's a wrap. If Houston wins Friday night, which the role players usually play better at home, then we have a series. So that series is still not over as much as the NBA and the Laker fans want to think it's over. Who else we got in the West? The Thunder, Denver.
We got
Lakers.
The Spurs and the Trailblazers.
That's a big one. Wemby got injured yesterday. Concussion protocol. Could miss. I think he's going to miss the next game for sure, but he could miss the next 2 games after that. It all depends on where he is in the protocol. Wemby's biggest thing has been his injury thing. So can he be healthy enough to give you a full playoff run? And we see now, was it a freak injury? Yeah, I don't think it was like the knee, it was back, it was the head. And if you saw it, it was a very, very that's not good. But I always feel like Wemby's one hit away from his career being over because of how fragile he is and all that stuff. So I don't trust the Spurs. I don't trust the Lakers because even if Luka comes back in round 2, which the NBA wants, it's all rigged. I think Oklahoma City, we saw. Let me remind you, when Luka and AR-15 got injured against OKC, they were coming up that winning streak. They were the hottest team in basketball. Luka Doncic had the greatest, one of his personal best month of March statistically for his career, and they got mollywopped by 30. So I think to answer your question, TK, I think it has to be, until we see somebody do it, it has to be OKC is favored, especially with Wemby's injury, with Denver being idiots and going against the guy that gives you trouble for the last 3 years. I don't know why would you play that man, and Rudy Gobert and all these people. And then you have the Lakers, where the last thing you want is the Lakers to get confident. So, it seems like it's OKC.
Yeah, so it looks like we're all in the same consensus of the OKC being the one. I was gonna joke like, oh yeah, when the Thunders go face the Lakers in the next round, it's gonna be a battle of two powerhouses. But we know that's not true. We know Nuggets and Timberwolves. We expect Nuggets to come out of it and kind of win it. Hopefully, because like you said, kid, Timberwolves haven't given them trouble, so maybe they're not even gonna survive. And I think Nuggets will be one of those teams that can give them trouble, but they're in trouble themselves right now.
Mm-hmm.
Wemby getting injured, it's huge for the Spurs. It's trouble, especially if it's more than a couple of days. If not, even then, you still have to kind of be careful about how much minutes you want to play him, just because you want to make sure you kind of stick around for the long haul, especially if you end up facing or the Nuggets or the Wolves.
The thing is, TK, also like Portland historically, like their home, it's very hard to win there historically. At the Trailblazers' home, it is always hard. I don't know what it is, the fans, whatever is the atmosphere. Historically, it's hard to win there. So let's say the Spurs go 3-down, 3-1, and you rush back Wemby.
Correct. So both of them are going through gauntlets right now, the Nuggets and the Spurs. They're going through their gauntlets. And after they finish this gauntlet, they're going to go ahead and go against each other. If they both advance, whoever is left standing, they just win a war. They're recovering compared to the Thunder, who got the Suns right now, which are probably going to walk all over them.
Should be a sweep.
Exactly. And then you have the Lakers or the Rockets, and we all know that's not competitive enough to make it anything for the Thunder.
From what you guys said, and TK, I think you have a great point. The kid as well. From what you guys said, I think there's only one team that has enough defense to actually go against Oklahoma City toe to toe, and I think that's Minnesota. Because if you think about it, was the San Antonio Spurs good defensively? Yes, but if you think about it, the main focus of that defense was basically Wemby, right? So, blocking shots left and right. That's only one man. If you remove Wemby from that team defensively, they're not that good. If anything, I don't think they wouldn't even be mid, right? So, and even when he won the Defensive Player of the Year, and they got quotes from his teammates, they literally said, like, this is obviously that he won it unanimously because he himself is the anchor of the entire defense. If he's not there, De'Aaron Fox, Castle, the other dudes, they're not amazing defensive players. Now, if you look at Minnesota, on the other hand, Donte DiVincenzo is a great defensive player. Obviously, Rudy Gobert for Defensive Player of the Year. Okay, Ant-Man is here and there. He's not known for his defense, but he can clamp it down every now and then. Okay, and then you have the other dudes like Nash Reed and everybody else. Minnesota can play defense. It's probably the best defensive team outside of Oklahoma, and we know Oklahoma's defense is nasty. So you can have all the offense that you want. For the Lakers, for example, you can have Luka back, you can have Austin Reeves back. We don't know how good they're gonna be. You can bring them back so fast, even if the playoffs. There's nothing for the Lakers to win this year. They're not gonna win it all. So why would you rush those players? I think that Oklahoma, if they're looking based on of your comments, you guys made me realize Minnesota would be the team because defensively they can match up with the Oklahoma City. Now, the offense is a different question. We would have to see how Ant-Man can get that offense going. That would be the remaining question.
Actually, what the Eagles said is apparently incredibly profound because when you check their games this season, they're split 50-50, and both teams scored over 100 points in all their games. So when you're looking at it, to the Eagles' point, Minnesota can defend against OKC, but for some reason, OKC has a hard, because we know Minnesota's not an amazing offensive team. So OKC can't really defend Minnesota very well at all if Minnesota can still break over 100 points against them. So when you're looking at it, and you're considering how coachable that team is, because arguably Minnesota is one of the best coach teams in the NBA, they actually have a pretty good shot. That's a pretty good That's a great observation, Eagle. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. Are you changing your vote?
My vote on who's on Minnesota winning the title?
Mm-hmm. Are you changing it for Oklahoma City? No.
No. I think what they're saying is that they got a dark horse, Minnesota, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Correct.
Though if the Ant-Man does win a title, y'all are never gonna hear the end of it. Never gonna hear the end of it. I'm getting the jersey. I'm letting y'all know.
You know what? I will concede his excellence if he beats the gauntlet.
Yeah, because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So all he has to do is beat OKC and you'll concede the excellence?
No. Win a ring, and if he beats Jokic, who's in the second round for him? With Jokic,
either the Spurs or the Blazers.
Okay, so Jokic, Wemby, SGA, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown.
All right, now that's too much. That's too high of a bar. But that's what I'm saying. If he does that, he's an automatic Hall of Fame. Get him in. Too high of a bar. That's not gonna happen.
Sorry, Ant-Man.
Oh man. All right, what do you guys think? Do you think that any of these teams, whether it's the Spurs, the Wolves, or the Nuggets, that could literally stop them in the West? Maybe you believe there's a team in the East that can actually be the one that takes the field. We didn't cover it. We don't believe so. But if you do, leave those comments down below. Thank you for tuning in. Keep your fandom alive and your wardrobe engaged. Until next time, fellow nerds, this is Nerd Breaking News.